Okay then, so far we have up and running EC2 instance. In this video, I will demonstrate you how to connect to the Amazon EC2 instance using a software application called Putty. You don't need to follow me in this tutorial, but if you want to do this hands-on lab and you are a Windows user, you can do this. Once we get connected to the Amazon EC2, we can then install any software on that Red Hat Enterprise Linux. But definitely we're not going to do anything on our EC2 instance, because for AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner exam, you don't need to worry about just working on Linux environment and etc. So first of all, before we start, I would like to remind you that there are many ways to connect to AWS EC2 instances. All right. So as I said before, this time we will use a software application called Putty, which is available only for the Windows operating system. All right. So what do we need to connect to our Amazon EC2 instance? Well, we need Putty, which is software application. Then we need a private key, which we have downloaded last time. So it's in here. So for instance, mine is my first AWS instance. Then we also need host name. All right. So I will show them to you one by one. First of all, if you are interested in downloading and installing Putty on your machine, what you need to do is you need to go to the official website of the Amazon Web Services, which is aws.amazon.com. Then you need to go to documentation and then Amazon EC2. So then you need to go to user guide for Linux instances. So then if you scroll down, you have instances, right? So you need to open that link. And then once you open instances, you have instance lifecycle. So you need to open that and then connect. So then you click on that connect, and then it shows you available ways of connecting to Linux instances. So for instance, the first option is for Linux and Mac operating system. So you can use SSH client, EC2 instance connect, or AWS system manager. All right. So, and for Windows, you have Putty, SSH client, etc. So we'll use this Putty. So you click on that one. And then if you scroll down again, you have here Putty download page. You can just open that one. And then it will take you to the official website of the Putty, from where you can download this application. All right. So, and as of recording this video, the latest version of Putty is 0.73. All right. So this one. So you just click on this one and you are ready to install it on your machine. All right. So I have already installed this Putty. It's on my desktop. It's in here. Let me show this one. So here, so this Putty, when you install, it comes with two applications. So the first one is Putty and the second one is Putty Gen. All right. So let me open this Putty. So this one, Putty, it's this one. And this one is used to connect to AWS EC2 instances, all right? While this one, Putty Gen, this one, so it's used to generate keys. So why do we need keys? Because we already have a key, private key, right? So, well, our key has an extension called .pem, right? So it's in here, pem. But this Putty accepts only files with an extension ppk. All right, so that means we need to generate another file which is compatible with this Putty. So that's why we need to use this Putty key generator. So the first thing we need to do is we need to generate it. So, and for that we have to run this Putty gen, and then we need to click to this file and then load private key. All right, and then we need to load our private key, which is this one. So it's on my desktop, so I need to go there. And if you scroll down, you cannot find that one. Why? Because by default, it says, okay, open ppk files. But our file is pem. So that's why we need to change this one to all files. And then it shows all the available files. For instance, it's on my desktop, so it shows all the available files on my desktop. So I can scroll down. And then I need to find that my first AWS instance, which is in here. And then I just double click on that one. And then it imports it into putty key generator. So it says successfully imported foreign key, and then it says to use this key with putty, you need to use the save private key command. All right. So this one then will save it in putty's own format. So we just click OK. So then we need to click on this one, save private key. But before clicking this one, just make sure that type of key to generate is RSA, this one. All right. So then you click on this one, save private key. So and then it says, are you sure you want to save this key without the passphrase? So it's in here, key passphrase. We don't need this passphrase. It's totally fine. Just click on this yes, and then you need to locate where you want to store this file. So in my case, it's gonna be my desktop again. So I'm gonna give it a file name. So I'm gonna give it the same. So this one, my first AWS instance, but this time without PEM. All right. So I will click save, and then this will generate that file for me. So it's in here. All right. So the first one, this one is PEM file, while this one is as an extension called PPK. It's written in here. All right. So now we can close this putty key generator. We don't need this one anymore. So then we need to open putty like this. So I have opened it. So the first thing, we need to load this my first AWS instance into our putty configuration. So for that, we need to go to SSH. So on the connection, you have SSH, right? So just go there. And then once you are in there, so you go to auth. So then you need to browse and you need to locate to this file, so which would be my first AWS instance, this one. All right. So then if we go to session, so if you go to session, so we have here several options, right? So host name or IP address, we need to write host name. So the question is, where do I get this host name? So let me open this one again, AWS documentation. So, and then if you scroll down, so I'm now in connect using putty page. And if I scroll down here, you have host names. So for RHEL, so that's Red Hat Enterprise Linux, we need to write EC2 user. All right. So we need to write EC2 user, then it's in here, then public DNS name, and public DNS name is in here. So if we go to our Amazon EC2 dashboard, we have here public DNS. All right. So now let's do one by one. So we need to paste our EC2 user in here, then we need to write public DNS. Actually, we can write this one or this one. So I'm gonna use the below one, IPv4 public IP. It's public IP address. So you can copy this one. So then then paste this one. Then we need to specify port, and the port is 22. So the question is, how do I know that the port is 22? So I know this one because if you go to EC2 dashboard, and then if you go to security groups, and then view inbound rules, so you can see that ports is 22 and the protocol is TCP. All right. And then source, so the source is 000. That means anyone can get connected to this instance. All right. So the most important thing here is port. All right. So port is 22. We need to write that one. So by the way, inbound is incoming traffic. Outbound is outgoing traffic. So incoming traffic, this one is to EC2, and this one is traffic that is going from EC2. All right. So now we have here 22. So now what we need to do is we need to save this session. All right. So because if we save this session, we can use this one later on as well. All right. So let me show this one. So for the session here, I will write AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner Training. like this. All right. So then I will click save. So then it will save configuration what we have defined in this putty configuration. All right. So now what I need to do is I need to click OK or open or this one. All right. So let me do this one, open. And then it asks that the server host key is not cached in the registry. It's totally fine. Just click yes. And then it says authenticating. And then now it has authenticated, and now I have signed it in. Sorry, connected into my AWS EC2 instance. So let me make this one bigger. So for that, I'll go to change settings, and then appearance, and then change, and then 18 pixel. So like this. Now, as you can see, I have signed it in. All right. So for instance, now I have signed it in into that virtual server. So now I can do whatever I like with this virtual server. For instance, I can install my necessary software applications, etc., etc. So for instance, I can type cd and this one, and then it will go to the main folder. So then here I can see that I have several folders in here. So basically I have connected into my EC2 instance. All right. So now what I would like to do here is, so if we go into our EC2 dashboard, here we have public IP, right? But this public IP is dynamic. So that's a IP address, and this IP address is dynamic, which means it changes over time. So that means, so for instance, if I shut down this one, and then if I just stop it, and then if I run this one, it basically changes. All right, so then it's going to be another public IP address. So that means each time when I need to connect in here in putty, so let me load this one. So each time I need to change this one because it changes in here. All right, so if you don't want that one, so you can make this IP address, this one, static. All right. And for that, there is a concept in AWS called elastic IP address. All right, so which makes the IP address static. In other words, it will not change over time. So it's also possible to do that. All right, just I'm informing you. So I can show that one if you are interested. So what we need to do if we want to attach that elastic IP address into our instance, it's very easy. So all we need to do is we need to scroll down, and here we have elastic IPs. We need to go there. So then we can click on this allocate elastic IP address. Then it says, okay, public IP address pool. So that means it goes to the pool, and from the pool, it will allocate one IP address to us. All right. So just click allocate. So just make sure that this one is selected. You cannot select anything else. So it's Amazon's pool of IP addresses, and click allocate. And then one will be allocated to you. All right. But here, what is important? So if you don't use this elastic IP address, so I mean, if you don't associate this IP address into the running instance, it will incur costs. All right. So let me explain this one. So now we have IP address. Now we need to associate this one within Amazon EC2. For that, so we need to go to actions, and then we need to click this one, associate elastic IP address. So basically what it means is it takes this IP address and it attaches this one to the Amazon EC2. So let's go and click on this one, associate. And then we need to specify which instance you want to associate this one with. So we have only one instance. We select this one, and then private IP address. So you click this one and then associate. All right. So now it has associated it with our IP address. So now, as you can see, our IP address has changed, and now it's not dynamic anymore. It's static. So that means it will not change over time. So now regarding costs, so So now our Elastic IP address is associated with our AWS EC2 instance. So that means they will not charge us for the use of Elastic IP address. So there will be no costs. But let's say I have here Elastic IP address, right? But I'm not using it. Then it will incur costs, all right? So another scenario, so you associate this Elastic IP address with your instance, like in here. But if I stop this instance, so that means my instance will not be functioning, and then it will cost you. I mean, Elastic IP address will incur costs. So that's why what is recommended. So if you are not using your Elastic IP address, always just release this one, or in other words, delete this Elastic IP address. For that, what you need to do is you need to go to Elastic IP address, and then here you have here a release Elastic IP address. So associate means attach, and then this associate means detach. While this one release, that means it just removes this Elastic IP address. All right, so I will just click on this one. It says if you release the following IP address, they will no longer be allocated to your account. So that means it just deletes it. So I'll click on this one, and now as you can see, no Elastic IP address found in this region. So all I wanted to show you here is that there is a possibility that you can attach to AWS instance a static IP address, which doesn't change over time. And this one gives you possibility, so just to leave this one static. Otherwise, you have to change this one each time when you connect, when you want to connect to your Amazon EC2 instance. All right. So now I'm in here. So let's close this one. So now I have closed it. So, and I have closed this one. Now let's say I want to get connected to my Amazon EC2 again. So for that, what I can do is I will just click on this one, and it opens this putty configuration. I'll go to my AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner, and I'll say load. And then it automatically loads predefined configurations, even this off, right? So this one, my key. So that means in here, I can create several configurations, all right, sessions. Then I can easily load them, and I can just click on this open, and then it opens it for me. All right. So I think now it's not opening it because my IP address has changed it. So now it ends 66. So let me check that one quickly. So if I load this, so now as you can see, it has changed it. So now I just need to paste that one and then save and then open it. Now it has connected into my AWS EC2. All right. So that's it for this video, and I will see you in the next one.